Hey everyone, Dr. Beck here again for another stretch of the week. As you'll notice, I am in a slightly different location today. I'm not at the Body Riches Centre, I'm actually in my house because it is Good Friday. So we have the day off today and I really wanted to keep the momentum going with the stretches of the week. So here we are in my house. I wanted to stay in the lower limb today for our stretch and talk a little bit about a muscle called our piriformis muscle. So this is a muscle that can cause some symptoms that are similar to sciatic pain. So the muscle is located deep to our glutes, so I'll show you. The muscle is located underneath all of our glutes and it runs from our sacrum here and runs all the way over. This is underneath all of our glutes and attaches onto the top of our thigh bone or our femur just there. So it runs in this direction and it's an external rotator of the hip. So it's part of a group of muscles that are termed the deep six, which are all external rotators. So they rotate the hip outwards like this. And when it gets very tight and symptomatic, it can send pain not only in the glutes but down the back of the leg and all the way down the calf and sometimes even into the foot. It can often get misdiagnosed as sciatica and actually often it's usually when we do stuff like self-diagnose that we get that. So I want to be really clear about sciatic pain or sciatica. So true sciatica comes from the sciatic nerve, when the sciatic nerve is being impinged or irritated in some way, and it will be down the back of the leg. So if you ever have pain down the side of the leg, the front of the leg, or pain that doesn't go all the way down to the bottom of the leg into the foot, it can often be something else other than sciatica. Also with sciatica, it is a nerve involvement, so you will have nerve pain. It's really different to pain from a muscle. It's often electrical in nature and can be shooting or pins and needles, numbness, hot or cold sensations, that sort of stuff. So just a general ache can often be coming from something other than that true sciatica, so the cause of sciatica, which is the sciatic nerve. What's interesting about the piriformis muscle is the sciatic nerve actually runs underneath it, and in about 17% of the population it actually runs through the muscle itself, which is a little bit different. So when the piriformis muscle gets very tight, it can do a few things. It can refer in its own referral pattern, which is similar to the sciatic nerve distribution. It can tighten up and impinge on that sciatic nerve itself, and that's when you'll start getting the more nerve pain symptoms like pins and needles, shooting electrical pain, that sort of stuff. And so you'll often find that a piriformis will get very tight from sitting for long periods of time. You can imagine when you're sitting down, you're actually sitting right on that piriformis, and the more we put it into a dysfunctional situation, the more dysfunction it will have, essentially. So things like long flights, long car rides, that sort of thing will really, can really irritate it. So it's fantastic to get a stretch into it. What you can do is, if you're really experiencing these symptoms down the back of the leg, you can get a tennis ball or your partner or something to get an elbow into that area, and that can often help. And then the best thing to do is follow that up with a stretch. And you can absolutely do the stretch without getting your tennis ball or anything into it too. So there are lots of different stretches you can do for the piriformis. Today I'm going to show you a stretch that is done seated. So really fantastic for those people who are sitting for long periods of time at work, long travel, driving as well. Although if you're actually the driver, I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this while you're driving, but it's a super easy stretch. So all we need to do is sit with our legs forward. It's like a figure 4 stretch, which you may have seen before. We're bringing the side that we want to stretch, We're going to bring that ankle up on and resting on top of our leg. And I actually already feel a stretch here. So we are, even though we are actually bringing the leg into a little bit of external rotation here, because we have a bend through the back, so we have it in flexion, it's stretching all the way through the back of the glutes and into the piriformis. What you can then do is lean your body forward. So I'll sit at a bit of an angle. I'll do this way so you can see. Allowing the knee to fall down, I'm already feeling a stretch through there. And then you can lean your body forward to increase that stretch. I don't actually need to do that very much, just a little bit of a lean. You'll see though that I'm not leaning from my back, it's all coming from the hip, and that's what you need to do. So again, holding that stretch for at least 30 seconds, as always, and you'll really start to feel a benefit from that. You should, particularly if you're feeling those specific symptoms, you might even feel a benefit after just stretching it once. So I would really recommend doing this on a regular basis if that's something that you're experiencing. So I'll take you through again. So bringing the leg, the side that you want to stretch, up onto the knee, and then letting the knee fall down and then leaning forward, and you'll feel a nice stretch all the way through that piriformis area there. I hope that you have found this useful, and welcome to my home, and I will see you guys next week for another installment of Stretch of the Week. All right, have a beautiful weekend. See you later.